Blog Talk Radio. Hi everyone, this is Camille from sunny California, and you're listening to the Coffee Chat with Camille show, which is a podcast series that interviews various guests about real-life topics for people who love to learn. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I actually had my last guest that didn't work out too well, and so I'm going on to how to research material for a children's book with Dr. Rachel Wellner. Her biography is, I'm only going to read a little bit of it. Dr. Rachel Wellner is the author of Doctoroo series of children's books. She's a board-certified general surgeon, a fellow of the American College of Surgeons, and Society of Surgical Oncology-trained breast oncology surgeon. In addition to her MD in surgical training, Dr. Wellner earned a master's in public health from Columbia University, reflecting her interest in global health. Most recently, she founded a startup called, I think it's Caelum Diagnostic Solutions, Inc., with the goal to identify cancer edges intraoperatively. Prior to that, she was an assistant clinical professor of surgery at the Montefiore-Einstein Center for Care. She has also been director of breast services at NYEE and Continuum Cancer Center, Pascal Valley Hospital, and Palisades General Hospital. Okay. I have more, but let me check. Yeah, the doctor's in. She's not. You know what? I'm going to let her know to call into the show real quick. So just give me one moment, okay? Let's see here. See. Hello, Dr. Wellner. Hello. I had a favor to ask of you if I could. Hi. Is it okay if you could call into the studio? Okay, thank you. Yes, we're going to do a telephone. Yeah. Yes. It is, let's see. Sorry, hold on one second. 516 area code 453 9209. Thank you. Okay, I just let the doctor know. So she's going to be calling in a moment. And here she is.
Hello.
Hi, doctor.
Hi.
Hi. I did introduce you already. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I apologize for the Zoom error there. We're trying to fix that, but we still miss people, so I apologize.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Okay, I want to go ahead and get into the interview. So just one moment. All right. How did you get inspired to write children's books?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, for me, I'm an oncology specialist, and I'm a breast surgery oncology specialist. So I treat adults. My whole career has been treating adult patients, and I kind of knew from early on that I was going to go into an adult specialty. But I left a piece of my heart in pediatrics with the children. I loved kids. I've always loved kids. For giving back to them and taking care of them. And I came up with this fascinating character, Doctoroo, who's the kangaroo doctor. And I said, what better way than to write about this character for kids?
Wonderful. And then how did you research your books?
That's a good question. I mean, I think, fortunately, since I did go through medical school, a lot of the sort of health topics and relevant health topics I stay abreast of and I'm aware of. So I already knew the topics I wanted to at least start with. So I knew I wanted to do a book on nutrition. I knew I wanted to do one on sun protection and on germs and preventing basic infection. So those are my first three, and I have a coloring book. And, my next series will bring in exercise and dental health, maybe a book on bullying and mental health. So those are sort of the topics that are just sort of, coming into my head. You asked me a question about researching the topics. So I did a combination of, looking through the medical literature to see what numbers were and what the, what the statistics were on all of the above, and writing the stories just from my heart and from my knowledge base.
Thank you so much. And if you could put yourself into your books, what kind of animal would you be?
Oh, listen, there's no question that I'm Doctoroo. I loosely based the character on myself because Doctoroo is a traveling doctor. She goes to all parts of the world where she's needed, and she helps the local communities, and that's reflective of some of the early work that I did during medical school and right after. I used to travel a lot to underserved areas of the world and try to bring supplies and finances, resources, and people to help with the situation wherever it was that I traveled. So I loosely based that character on some of my own passions.
Thank you. And then lots of children's books talk about health. What makes your series different?
First, again, I'm sure plenty are written by MDs, physicians, and other people that really do, know a lot about health. But, I do have that background. So I would say that's one. Second, just this character of Doctoroo, she's very special. And in addition to her demeanor and, she's smart and she deduces. My books follow a mechanism in medicine called the differential diagnosis. So basically what that means is you rule out all the other causes of things before you get to the final diagnosis. And that's kind of how I base all of my books. So an animal population, they're usually kids of a certain area, will present with some sort of medical symptoms. And Doctoroo and her team, she's got a couple of furry friends from Australia, Kirby Koala, Terrence Toad, and Louie Llama. And as a team, they all work together, usually with the local people on the ground, and they one by one rule out what's not going on until they find out what is. And so by doing that, we create a medical adventure. It's not just you have to work for the ending and to find out what's really happening. And there's a sense of satisfaction when kids, along with their parents or by themselves, are actually having to put on their thinking caps and trying to figure out what's actually really going on until they find out, along with Doctoroo, what is really going on. So I think that makes my book a little bit different.
Wonderful. And then the last. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? I apologize.
No, you didn't.
Okay. And then for our last question, what is your process for writing the Doctoroo books?
I have to overlap a little bit because of that differential diagnosis, which is a skill that we learn in training. I'll think of a problem first. I'll think of whatever the health problem is, whether it's malnutrition or, like I said, in the case of the Red Hot Hawaiians, that, they're getting sunburned. And then I'll backtrack. I'll say, what are all the possible, causes that can cause their skin to turn red and blotchy? And I'll come up with, 5 possibilities and then write all about them. I try to do it in a way that's very digestible for the kids, not scary. These books are not meant to create fear in any child. They're actually intended to empower the children about their own health and teach them some basic lessons so that they can take care of themselves and that their parents can learn some lessons as well. So I'm very careful to stay on that topic and make sure that whatever I'm doing is not intended to frighten the children, but rather to, like I said, empower them and make them feel really good about taking control of their health.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your interview with me today. I appreciate you tremendously, and I'm sure our audience will as well. And then is the Doctoroo series still available on Amazon.com?
It is. You can find it directly through Amazon. A book just came out called Doctoroo in the Case of the Picnic Pirates, which I think the kids will love. Yes. You can also find it through my website, www.doctoroo.health. So if you go to my website, you can click on the links, and that will bring you actually right to the Amazon site to purchase.
Excellent. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Dr. Rachel Wellner.
Thank you, Camille. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Such a pleasure. Bye for now.
I've had a wonderful time on your show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, take care. Happy New Year. Okay, bye-bye.
Happy New Year. Bye. Okay, wonderful. There she was, Dr. Rachel Wellner. She was just magnificent. She has also been director of breast cancer services at NYEE and Continuum Cancer Center, Pascal Valley Hospital, and Palisades General Hospital. Dr. Wellner graduated Magna Cum Laude and Phi Beta Kappa from Dartmouth College, earned her medical degree from the University of Connecticut, and her master's degree in public health from Columbia University. She pursued her surgical training at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine and worked to establish clinical rotations in underserved regions of Nicaragua, Guatemala, India, and the Dominican Republic. She has been featured as a guest expert on several local and national news networks, including WPLX 11, Fox and Friends, and CNN. Again, you can find the Doctoroo series on Amazon.com and also on Dr. Wellner's website. Let me repeat that. I think it's Doctoroo.health. Okay? There's coloring books, health and hygiene, a lot about the author, beautiful website. So please go and buy these wonderful books written by an actual physician. Okay? Thank you all so much for listening to Coffee Chat with Camille. And I hope that you have a great rest of the week. Just one more day to go before Fun Friday. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Bye. Oh, and of course, I appreciate our guest. Goodbye.